Here I am. How you doing, guys? How you doing? This is about you, not about me. But it's kind of about me too, because I'm freaking Cancerian. And I love who I am. And I love everything about how my life is happening and how I'm guiding it. I'm making it happen. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that is where you are right now. And if you are not there right now, know that you can be. Because I promise you 5 years ago, I was not there either. And if I can change my life around, so can you. I have a long way to go, but at least now I'm enjoying my pathway. It's the best. It's the best to be challenged every day. It's the best to learn, get smacked down, get back up, but also feel really good at the end of the day that you have put everything you are into what you are doing. And if you haven't achieved your dreams at the end of the day, it's not because you have in any way, shape, or form not done everything that you could, but instead it's just that you have more way to go. And I have more way to go. And you may have more way to go. But it doesn't mean that life isn't changing for the better. Warning, it changes slowly. It does. And sometimes it changes so slowly we think that nothing's moving at all, but that's when we have to look at the details. Because the details will show you that things are changing actually rapidly. You know, this earth, I don't know the scientific measurements, but this earth literally turns around its own axis. I think about 33,200 some odd miles per second. Per second. That's how fast we fucking spin. So at the very least, if you feel that your life isn't moving at all, know that you are certainly moving, actually physically. All the time, you are literally moving 3,200 some odd miles an hour because you're on a planet that's spinning you that fast. And it's not only spinning you that fast, it's moving around the sun, and that sun is moving through the universe. And that means that you are moving and things are changing. And in our little bubble, we don't feel it, mostly because we lose connection with all of it. And that's why I love astrology so much, because it helps remind me and keep me connected every time I look at the charts. Oh shit, things are moving all the time. Things are changing all the time. And so are you. And life is getting better. 3,200, whatever, miles per hour rotation at a time. What I see in the cards in front of me is that there is movement. And that's why I start out with this whole spiel. There's methods to my madness. The clusterfuck of planets is happening now between your 7th and 8th house. But really important, you have the North Node in your 12th house. I know that, understand that Gemini may be another traditional house for Cancer, but the houses and the zodiac signs are actually on different wheels when you study astrology. They're not the same wheels. The 12th house is always, the houses are ruled by specific energies of the zodiac signs, but they're not the same wheel. So just know that. And the North Node is now showing up in our 12th house, which is the house of mystery, which tells me that you, probably like me, are feeling really nebulous right now. Feeling like, what the fuck do I don't know what to do. I know I'm supposed to do something, but I don't know what that is. And my biggest answer has always been, you need to have faith right now in something that comes to you. And the one thing that you will do, should do, and must do is open yourself up to it. Like, let people know I'm ready for a new job. Let people know I'm ready for my dreams to come true. This is what my dreams are. How do I get there? My dreams to be on television again. to be acting full time. How do I get there to be on that Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series? I love it and I belong there, but I'm old. Who's going to look at me? I haven't had an agent in years. I haven't had, I haven't had a television spot in years. How do I go from there to there? I don't know how, right? And so the question now is then, have you been brave enough to put it out into the universe? Because if you've been brave enough to put it out into the universe, accepting the potential of humiliation and negative criticism and all that stuff, it don't matter. Because those are just immediate human responses. The person who's supposed to hear, if you put it out there, it's going to be heard. It's going to land on those ears that are supposed to hear it. But this is what I'm telling you, that North Node in Gemini, remember, Gemini is all about communications, especially listening. And for me, that means right now, somebody is listening to you. Somebody is listening to you that you don't know and you don't understand, and you may not know for a while, but ultimately they are listening to you and they are working in your favor to help you the fuck out. They are. They are. How do I know this? I read tarot, in case you hadn't noticed. I also read the stars. I know that there are life-changing events that are going to be happening in the 7th house, and those life-changing events in the 7th house, which is the house of partnership, are exacerbated by or directly linked to what the fuck is happening in the 10th house, which is what you do for a living. Right? So one is going to impact the other. And I know that the North Node has this beautiful little favorable aspect that's tiptoeing across the chart to Venus right now. Now, Venus isn't just about love and romance. It's about love, like what you love, like loving something. Because that's kind of your sun too. But the sun is now in Aquarius. It's been in Capricorn for a while. So what does that mean? New things, different things. The sun is, your sun could be very interested in things and possibilities, or trying things and communicating things that it normally wouldn't communicate, because it's just kind of like, it's in the sign of Aquarius. Let's think outside the box. Let's rebel. Let's do something different with our work, with our job, with what we do. I would not be surprised if you aren't feeling this need to change up what it is that you do, what it is, how you do it, like what you're interested in, a need to not just jump ship or maybe leave your career, but now you're interested in other careers. You're interested in moving. You're interested in movement. You're interested in looking into things that you didn't look into before, or just putting yourself out there in a different kind of way. It's the best thing that you can do right now. But what you must do consistently is continue to put yourself out there. Honestly, humbly, and allow yourself to be humiliated if necessary. But it is so freaking necessary. Also, I want you to know that Mercury is sitting in, I think it's trine to the North Node, and Mercury is sextile to the South Node. So what it's doing is really helping us figure out how to make that step over, literally, intellectually, or bringing us information, or telling us that through communication is how we are going to get out of the past and step into our future. Look what the happens. Bam. North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. But this is, look at that North Node. Where is it? 12th house in Gemini. For you, about communications, but maybe things that you never would have done before, or mysterious conversations, emails, texts, whatever. Those kind of things are coming in. And how you communicate, what you ask for specifically, is very, very supercharged right now. What else came out with this? I always pick the Moonology cards for Cancerians. It has to. You have to. Cancer energy. This is telling me, yes, you and your family are safe. Well, first of all, thank God, because if a Cancerian does not feel like their family's safe, they're not going to, and they're not going to be able to focus on anything. And one of the biggest problems I've personally had in my life is putting my family first. But that's how a Cancerian's supposed to be. You're supposed to put your family first. But when we are literally at a point where, you know what, they're doing good. They're doing good. You've done all you can. You've helped them. And now, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's time to let them go. Okay? The umbilical cord cannot be attached forever. If you have a 5-year-old kid, I'm not telling you to send them off onto, the great big wide world. But there are different benchmarks along the way developmentally that you do let them go. You let them go to kindergarten, and then you let them go to high school. Let them drive your car. Each and every step in the parenting in the parenting world is about letting them go. Because letting it go, including a child that is just a brain child or a heart child, a passion child, your creativity, what you do for a living, you must put it out into the world at some point. You must let it go. That's the point, ultimately, of parenting, isn't it? The point of mothering a child that you've grown in your body or that you've adopted from the time they were little, somebody that you have protected. Well, listen, say you are a biological parent, right? The kid doesn't stay in your body, man. You fucking let it go. And it's painful. And every time you let them go, it never stops being painful. But it's practical and it's necessary because they can't grow if you don't let them go. And that's exactly what's happening with all the things that you really desire. If you don't send it out into the world, knowing that, oh shit, there are going to be bumps, bruises, humiliations, failures that I cannot protect it from. But that is how it grows on its own. That is how it learns and experiences. That is how, through all those shakeups and breakups and heartbreaks that you can't protect your 16-year-old from, that is how they continue to grow. And at one point, you just got to sit back and give it over to God and be like, I am here to guide you at all times, but ultimately, I cannot keep you to myself anymore. I must let you go so you can grow. And right now, we're at that point as Cancerians where we want to grow. We want growth to happen, especially for ourselves in our own lives. We want to grow. In order to grow, you got to let it go. You got to put yourself out there and accept that there are going to be bumps, bruises, humiliations, and upsets. And ultimately, things that you're just going to have to you have to move on from them. Learn from them. Learning from them is how you don't repeat them and you don't let them defeat you. Learn as you go. Learn as you travel. Learn as you set out in your broad and distant future. Learn. And when you learn, that's how you grow. That's how you grow and don't get throttled back so you wee all the way home. You don't want that. We've stayed home too long. Our home has got to change. Like a little crab, that fucking shell gets too goddamn heavy and small. And like a crab, we must molt the old shell. Risk the vulnerability of being all pink and soft in the water. And people like to eat them juicy crabs. I do. Till we find a new one. But it's got to happen. It's got to happen because we end up suffocating and killing ourselves if we don't take that risk. So this is that time, my pink and vulnerable little crabadaciousness. Like, this is what crabadelics. That's what we got to do. We got to grow. We got to grow. And in order to do that, we got to let it go. Moving on from where you have been trapped is a leap of faith in and of itself. But these cards tell us there is hope on the other side of where we have been stuck as long as we are willing to believe it, know it, and let it grow. Wisdom comes in to understand. Wisdom is, what did I say? Learning from these things. So we have learned from what we have experienced. We've learned every time we've set out to a new path and we've failed, and the older you are, the better you are. unless you have learned the bad lesson of, I'm just not going to take any risk because I don't like this pain. Okay, then you're going to be fucking stuck and I'm not talking to you. Because honestly, I'm with the unstuck crew. And if you want to be stuck, you got to go suffocate somewhere else. Seriously. This is for the crew who doesn't want to suffocate. You've learned, you're wise. You know what to believe and what not to believe. And you also know that you got to suffer through the risks and the bruises in order to get to the weekly massages, the pedicures, the shit that you want, right? You're going to get good news. You're going to get a real benefit. And I think it's going to be at a point where you're expecting that knockout punch. You're expecting it, man. But all of a sudden, there's this blessing that's shooting through at you. There's really something that is a level up, next top notch on the way for you, right? And your wisdom will be what lets you know this is a good thing to do now. Use your wisdom. If you're reaching out and you're communicating, because remember, North Nodes are about communication, use your wisdom. Use what you've learned over all this time in your communications, in your storytelling, in what you're creating, in how you go about things. It's time you realize your self-worth. I understand that you're still working on it. Somebody else is interested in the bump and bruised you. And this is where the mystery comes in, with where the North Node is. Somebody is interested. And that's what I got. And this change is nebulous. This, what's going to happen, exactly how it's going to happen, let it be a mystery. That gives it enough girth or room to be able to become what it needs to become and not be trapped, right? Let it have some room to breathe and grow, because this person, I don't think you realized that there is an interest in you. Maybe it's not even person, maybe it's an energy, but it is interested in you. And it's closer than you think. Because see, this card is not just about our loved ones being safe. That gives us the security that we need to have faith in taking these new chances. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize. This is not that kind of a channel. Just wearing a wife beater like that. That's all I'm doing. But this card is really about, no, Cancers, it's time for us. This is a new start for us. It's a new start. It's a new day. It's us actually being able to grab a hold of what it is that maybe we've been aiming for and missing for so long. We've wanted it, right? This is about knowing what you want and going after it, and not being held back by all the past that basically tells you one thing, says that no, you have to accept this, you have to accept this. It tells you one thing, but that's instinct. That's what it is. I pulled this card from the Rebel deck, and it said that little voice inside of you, you got to trust it. You got to trust it. If it's right for you and you're ready to do it, don't worry about anything that's happened in the past with it. You got to reach out. And that's what I said. And I don't want a bunch of Cancerians reaching out to their fucking exes, because we do that shit too much. But I'm sorry. But ultimately, I know it's so judgmental, but it's true, man. Dude, I live in the skin. I understand how it is. But there's just this sense of like, no. Actually, Cancerians don't reach out a bunch to their exes. We kind of close down from our exes, but we always like, that's what we always think of. I think it's bigger than that, is what I'm saying. I think that there's a person, I'm just going to say it the way that I read the charts. I'm like, there's a fucking person from your past that you need to go back and talk to, because that motherfucker, whether you know it or not, they're still watching you. They're still looking at you. You still catch their interest. And maybe you didn't know it. And you probably think that they fucking just put you to a side. But that's what we do to ourselves, right? That's our self. That's our, oh, they hate me and they're never going to want to hear from me. But that's really us being pussies. That's really our way of justifying us not taking the chance and making the communication that we have to make. They're not going to want to hear from me anyway. So I'm actually doing what's better for them by not calling because I wouldn't want to bother them. Shut the fuck up. You actually don't want to take the chance because you're scared of the disappointment, suffering, or failure. Well, too fucking bad, pretty child. You got to get yourself up and face the disappointment, the humiliation, and the failure and make that goddamn phone call because there is somebody from your past directly connected to what you do and the way that you want to make in this world. You got to call them up again. You got to call them up again. Open the communication because they're still interested somehow. They are. I'll let you know that. I'm gonna let you know that. And for me, I don't know about for you, it's bigger than partnership, it's bigger than romance, but I know that it's connected. I know that it's going to lead, I think, to a partnership that you don't have available yet. Things happen in time. And the reason why this card comes up, practice, needing to practice, needing to keep doing something over and over again, needing to fail. That's what practice is, right? It's failure as a teacher. That's what it is. You know, they talk about the instruments, right? Oh, I was so bad at playing my instrument in high school. Ooh. If I really cared about it, though, I would have kept going back. And I would have kept going back until all of a sudden those flat notes weren't flat anymore. And my fingers soared over those little buttons without me even thinking, like it became muscle memory. That's what practice is. Practice is learning through failure. Well, you've learned through failure. You got to go back and you got to reconnect with somebody that you failed with in the past. It's the way forward. Unconditional love is not about your true love coming in. It's about really and completely loving everything that you are, even though you know it's not perfect, and in some ways it's fucked up and it's got a lot to change. Masquerade is about you can feel like somebody isn't true. You can feel like something's off. You can feel when something's off, and it is off. It's off, but it still has to move forward. So even though things aren't perfect, it's the perfect time. Follow your heart. And guess what? Soulmate is about true love. This is about that person that just connects with you like, you know, you can't even explain it. And a soulmate could be a brother, a sister, it could be a son, daughter, it could be a husband, wife, it could be a lover, it could be a best friend, it could be an ex. Soulmates are people who really do enrich your life. They really do understand you so integrally that the both of you help each other be better versions of yourselves. That's who a soulmate is. It's not, oh, Romeo and Juliet. No. Romeo and Juliet fucking killed themselves for each other. They were not good for each other. That is not a good representation of a healthy relationship. Just letting you know. You don't want to be dying when you're 13, okay? But this is a soulmate. It's somebody who's taught you how to follow your heart and believe that even though the road is not easy, it is worth it. And getting back on that road. That soulmate is telling you, you got to do this shit. You got to keep sending those emails. You got to keep making those phone calls. Be willing to piss people off. That's how you get what you want. And that's not comfortable, is it? But your soulmate's going to be there to remind you that it don't matter if it's not comfortable. We're not asking for comfort right now, little crab. What's really uncomfortable is suffocating yourself in that shell that's too small for you, right? It's too small for you anymore. It's not big enough anymore. You got to get out and make yourself uncomfortable so that you can get to where you need to be next. Let's look into the animal totem cards. Cancer. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. Like this video and share them on your social media platforms, because that's really what helps the channel grow. But also, ring the bell, ding, 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 and you will get notified. I upload between 12 and 14 new videos every single week. And you know, you don't just check out your sun sign. You got a moon sign, you got a rising sign, you got all these other signs, and maybe you want to check somebody else's out. So there's new videos every single week. It's not time sensitive, so you can watch these whenever they come to you. You need to hear the message. But I do make a new video every single week. So you'll get alerted to that. There's always an extended video. That link is below. I just saw 25 too. What the extended does is it really blows everything up and articulates exactly what is happening, what the challenges are, how to get through them, and what to expect in the future. And it includes a romance-specific reading. That link is always below with every single one of these videos, and you can subscribe directly to Vimeo so that you get updates and alerts directly from them, and you'll have access to the extendeds about like a day before the link comes up here on YouTube. Also, that's where I upload my weekly astrological forecasts. I do an analysis of the cosmos for the week ahead. Every single Sunday night, I upload it over there. It's totally free. So you can subscribe over there. And Instagram, I do a lot of work on Instagram, including my live interactions. I do daily live tarot card readings over there Monday through Friday. So I'd love for you to join. Born_without_boundaries. So let's get into the rest of the tarot card reading. Dolphin spirit, this and that are true. See, you're starting to see things in a different way. You're starting to see that, you know, even those things, it's like get out of your stuck mindset. Those things that you thought, oh, these were failures. No, these people hate me. Okay, but you know what? They would still be willing to talk to you. Oh, they ignored me. They never got back to me. All right, well, maybe some shit was happening in their life because you weren't top priority. But it don't mean that you can't still reach out. This and that are true. It is not set in stone. You did not know something or see something, and you made a decision based on more of your fear and all the facts that you did see, basically agree with or support all the fears that you had. So really, you just shut yourself down. Got to open back up again and realize it's not the case. See it in a different way. And then nothing is wasted. All those experiences, all those treasure in a trash heap. All that trash that you had to deal with has really taught you something. Also, it's a gem that maybe you're just discovering and finding now. And it took a change of perspective to do it. Truth transcends illusion, and this is Aquarius season, baby. So it's saying that the time is now. Take action now as well. Let your truth out now. Let it be now. Let it, like literally announce yourself to the world. Expose yourself now. Do it now. This is it, especially Thursday, Friday. Very, very great days for some honest exposure. Love is all around. Gemini energy. You'll be surprised by the responses. It's not going to be as negative as you think. In fact, it's probably going to be more favorable. People loving up on you. Let it shine. Time to let it out. Those deep, dark secrets, those things that you thought died. You thought the opportunities were dead. You thought they were finished. They were not. You actually do have options. You actually do have a future here. Make your dreams real. This is beautiful shit, man. This is weaving energy. It is magical energy, 11 energy, 11 of awakening to realizing how much power you actually have. Cast your spells now, baby, because the universe is listening. And trust in divine detours. The universe will respond. And when it responds, you need to take that hard right, bitch. Do it. Take that hard right. Is that left or right? That's right for me. I don't know. That's right. Take that hard left. Go for it. Trust. The universe is going to respond to you. When you put yourself out there, the universe is going to respond to you. All right? Trust it. Trust it. It may not be the way that you saw, but it is the way to what you want. FYI. Let's get into your angel reading. Unless you want to go to the Vimeo reading right now, that's up to you. But the angel messages are my favorite part of each reading. What angel messages come out for Cancerian? I know we're getting a lot of green light. You know what green is the color of? The heart chakra. So it's romance, but it's also, romance is not just like sex relationships. It's really believing in the dream and the ideal, and living every day true to your ideals and your ideal self, it says dreams, but it's really your ideals, your ideal world, believing in it so hard that you live it every day. Transformation through the great love that holds you in its embrace. You are moment by moment transforming to ever greater light, ever greater oneness, goddess of oneness, and ever greater wisdom. You are getting in sync and you are leveling up. Mindfulness. Be mindful of another's feelings and needs. Someone needs your love right now. A loving thought is all it takes. That's all it takes. So before you respond to anybody, and even maybe you're the one that needs to reach out to somebody, right? Because they've been busy. But honestly, do it. Sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth, the I am presence of eternal love. Focus on your breath. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth. Get you back to that oneness, that sincerity inside your heart. Archangel Sandalphon is here. I have heard your call for help. Your prayer will soon be answered. Thank you, Archangel Sandalphon. Thank you. And with that, let's deep dive with tarot. I will see you down under.